Imagine a job that seems like a dream come true. It's the early 20th century, a time of great change and excitement. You're a young woman, and you've just landed a position that not only pays well 3 times the average factory wage but is also glamorous. You get to work with a magical, glowing substance, painting delicate watch faces so soldiers can see them in the dark. Your friends are envious. You're one of the lucky ones, one of the ghost girls, so-called because you literally glow at the end of your shift. This was the reality for hundreds of young women who worked for the United States Radium Corporation in Orange, New Jersey, starting in 1917. They were tasked with painting watch dials with a newly discovered, luminous paint. The key ingredient, radium, a substance hailed as a miracle element. So new and exciting that people put it in everything from toothpaste to drinking water, believing it had health benefits. The company handed the girls tiny brushes and instructed them on the best technique to get a fine point lip. Dip, paint. Roll the tip of the brush between your lips. Dip it in the radium paint and paint the tiny numbers on the dial. Over and over again. They were told the paint was completely harmless. In fact, some of the girls, caught up in the craze, would paint their teeth and nails with it before a night out, delighting in their ethereal glow. They were, quite literally, ingesting poison ephedos of times a day, every single day. But radium is far from harmless. It's a highly radioactive element. As the girls ingested it, the radium settled in their bones, mimicking calcium. But unlike calcium, it didn't strengthen them. Instead, it relentlessly bombarded their bodies with internal radiation, drilling microscopic holes into their skeletons. The first signs were subtle: a persistent toothache, a tooth that wouldn't heal after being pulled. Then, the real horror began. Their jaws started to rot away, in a condition horrifically named radium jaw. Their spines crumbled. They developed crippling anemia and tumors. The women, once buoyant and full of life, were now in constant, agonizing pain, their bodies slowly disintegrating from the inside out. When the first woman, Molly Magia, died in 1922, her death certificate problemously listed the cause as syphilis. It was a cruel and deliberate lie by the company to discredit her and avoid any responsibility, as more and more of her colleagues fell victim to the same mysterious and terrifying illnesses. The United States Radium Corporation didn't just deny culpability, they actively fought to conceal the truth. They commissioned studies that they then altered to hide the damning evidence. They smeared the names of the dying women, attributing their ailments to Gigich's own moral failings. But they underestimated the strength of these women. A group of them, led by the courageous Grace Fryer, decided to fight back. It was a David versus Goliath battle. These were working-class women, and dying, taking on a wealthy and powerful corporation with deep pockets and political connections. Their fight for justice was grueling. Grace Fryer spent 2 years just trying to find a lawyer willing to take on their case. Lawyers were afraid of the powerful corporation, and the statute of limitations for injuries had technically passed, since the poisoning had started years earlier. Many doctors, afraid of losing funding or being liated with the company, refused to testify on their behalf. The women were so weak they had to be carried into the courtroom. They couldn't even raise their right hands to take the oath. But they persisted. Their story narrowly caught the attention of the media, and public outrage began to build. The press ended them, the Radium Girls, and their haunting, scared their appearance devastated and horrified the nation. The company could no longer hide behind lies and legal maneuvers. Finally, Inyi-chi Nijuhachi, on their deathbeds, the women won a settlement. It wasn't a huge amount of money, and it couldn't give them back their health or their lives, but it was a victory. They had forced the United States Radium Corporation to admit Zurin. Their case, and the subsequent cases in Illinois and Connecticut, had a profound and lasting impact. The tragedy of the Radium Girls became a landmark in history. It led to the establishment of the Occupational Safety and Health Administration, or OSHA. It led to sweeping reforms in industrial safety standards, protecting generations of workers from similar fates. Their suffering forced the legal system to recognize occupational diseases and gave workers the right to sue their employers for damages. The bodies of the Radium Girls are still radioactive today. When remains were exhumed decades later for study, they still glowed with the poison that had killed them. Their story is a chilling reminder of corporate greed and the human cost of progress without conscience. But it's also an inspiring testament to the incredible bravery of a group of ordinary women who, in the face of own mortality, fought for justice, not just for themselves, but for every worker who came after them. They changed the world. Thank you so much for watching. The story of the Radium Girls is a crucial piece of history that should never be forgotten. If you found this story as powerful as I do, please hit that like button and subscribe to the channel for more deep dives into the past. See you in the next video.